Okay, it is 7 o'clock. We do have a quorum. We'll call the city council meeting to order. First item on the agenda is invocation given by myself, and then the pledge to both the American and Texas flags given by Mayor Pro Tem Durham. Most gracious Almighty God, our Creator, the Alpha and the Omega, we thank you so much for all the blessings that you give us. We thank you for being a part of our lives each and every day. We thank you for your perseverance with us and overlooking and overseeing the mistakes that we make. We thank you for providing for us, always giving us all we need and more. We thank you for protecting us and watching over us constantly. And we thank you for the peace that you give us when we confide in you, when we have fellowship with you. We ask your special blessing on all those who are suffering around the world, those who are in turmoil, those who are frightened, those who are hungry, and those who are in pain and suffering. We ask your blessings on those who have lost loved ones. Give them your strength, your comfort, and your passion. We ask your protection on all of those people here home and abroad who are fighting for our freedom, for truth, and for justice. We ask that you watch over and protect them. We pray all this in your most holy and precious name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Once again tonight, we're very privileged and honored to be here and be able to recognize some of our fellow young people here in our community. You know, we have a wonderful community here in Lewisville, and we always have people that are standing up and stepping up and going above and beyond and serving our community. That's what makes this community, I think, stand out above so many other communities, is that it's not one person, it's not one group, but it's everybody combined, working together, pitching in and giving their efforts. Tonight, I'd like to ask two special people to come forward. If I could have Spencer and Chandler Rowan please come forward with me. Chandler, once again, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Spencer, once again, congratulations. Thank you very much. We also have their parents, Robin and Paul is right here, and Robin is right here, and they're with them tonight. And want to say thank you very much for the hand I'm sure you've had over the years in raising these young people and making sure that they have instilled in their lives the feeling and the necessity to serve others above self. And we thank you very much for that. On behalf of the City Council and the President of the United States, I present these Presidential Service Awards to two very deserving young residents of Lewisville, Spencer Rowan and Chandler Rowan. These two young people have gone well above the expected duty of community service as they have contributed heartily and genuinely in their service to others during the past year. They have both qualified for the bronze medal and accompanying certificate awarded by the President of the United States by offering their good nature, their time, and energy at Covenant Church for more than 100 hours in 2011. Let's give them a big round of applause. And both of you, we're going to do ladies first. Chandler, you'll understand that's very important as you get older. You always want to do the ladies first. But I'll read this to you. This is the President's Volunteer Service Award presented by the President's Council on Service in the civic participation to Spencer Rowan in recognition and appreciation of your commitment to strengthening our nation for making a difference through Volunteer Service 2011 National Community Service Award. I want to thank you so much for all that you've done for us. Thank you so much. And here's a little nice, beautiful lapel piece. Thank you. Let's get a picture here, right here. Okay, and then Chandler. And then we'll get a picture of all the stuff that's there. Presented by the President's Council on Service and Civic Participation to Chandler Rowan, the recognition and appreciation of your commitment to strengthening our nation and for making a difference through volunteer service for 2011. Here, like I say, we're giving them a beautiful lapel pin that they have, given to them by the United States, the President of the United States, and this certificate. This picture right here. Put the beauty in between these beads here. So if everyone says, we're done. Thank you again so much, both of you. Appreciate it so much. And I just hope that, and I know the other young citizens in our community would look up to you as their peers, and it would want to encourage them to do this type of service in the community. Thank you. God bless both of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. City Manager, would you come down, please, sir?
Close. Not quite. Sorry, man.
Presidential Award for Failure to Communicate. No, wait a minute, that's not what that says. No, tonight is a very special, or today is a very special time in our city history. We try to remind this every year, and as Councilman Durham pointed out tonight, and Chief Kerbo pointed out tonight, back in 2000, we did it for 75-year anniversary. Tonight, we're recognizing the city of Louisville in our 87th, wait a minute, did I say it right? 87th birthday. So, and I told me I did math very well because in 2000, that's 12 years ago, it would have been 75. So they did math very well. So this is a presidential award for you being able to add. This is our proclamation. Whereas in 1844, the Halford and King families, not this king, but another king, the Halford and King families were the first to settle in the area of modern-day Louisville, naming it the Holford Prairie Settlement. And whereas in 1855, Besdell Lewis purchased the Holford land and renamed the nascent settlement Louisville after his own family name. And whereas in an effort to better protect the community after a services of devastating Main Street fires, Louisville's 815 residents, now almost 100,000, held an election on January 15th of 1925 to decide the issue of municipal incorporation, and whereas by a margin of 109 in favor to 92 opposed, voters approved incorporation as the city of Louisville. And whereas Louisville has grown as a community since that day in 1925, currently boasting a population of about 35,000 households, accounting for more than 100,000 people. Now, therefore, I, Dean Euchert, Mayor of the City of Louisville, Texas, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2012 as Louisville's 87th birthday, proclaimed this 9th day of January 2012. Mr. King, congratulations, sir.
Post
Let
that,
you say a
sir.
few words here.
Well, I don't know that I have any other words to say. It's something that has worked out well for me, certainly. Louisville's been a great place to work in and live in, and I'm glad they did what they did back in 1925. Kind of wish Lewis hadn't sold to or bought from King, because then it could have been called Kingsville. the one down south, but I'll work later to change
Well, would
that.
you like to put some money in the coffer?
Well, it depends on how much that would take. A lot.
Next item on the agenda is public hearing, consideration of an ordinance adopting camp standards of care in compliance with Texas Administrative Code 745.115, 3, municipal for recreational camp programs. In the state of Texas, no person may operate a child care facility or child placing agency without a license issued by the Department of Family and Protective Services, or a certificate to operate under accreditation issued by the Department of Family and Protective Services. The Park and Leisure Services Camp Program meets all of the criteria for the Municipal Recreation Program exemption with the Department of Family and Protective Services with the proposed standards of care and council adoption of the proposed ordinance. The Texas Administration Code requires the City Council's adoption of the standards of care ordinance each year. The proposed standards of care are the same as approved by the council last year. Recommendation that the council approve the ordinance adopting the camp standards of care set forth in the above caption. I do not have any cards on this. Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion to close public hearing by Councilman Durham, a second by Councilman Guerrero. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Councilman Durham.
Mayor, move to approve as presented.
Second.
Have a motion to approve as presented by Councilman Durham, a second by Councilman Guerrero. Any discussion? Counselor?
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lewisville, Texas, amending Chapter 10 Parks and Leisure Services of the Lewisville City Code by creating Article 7 Standards of Care for Youth Recreation Programs, providing for a repealer, providing for severability, providing an effective date, and declaring an emergency.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is a public hearing, consideration of an ordinance for a zone change request from agricultural open space to light industrial district zoning on 3.42 acres located north of Bennett Lane and west of Railroad Street, further identified as J.H. Haven Survey, Abstract 541, and E. Aden Survey, Abstract 11, as requested by UST Waters Ridge North, LP, the property owner. The 3.42-acre property is located north of Bennett Lane and west of Railroad Street within the Waters Ridge North Business District. The subject property consists of 4 tracts, all of which were currently vacant. The applicant intends to combine this property with several other parcels, development of 2 500-square-foot speculative warehouse or build-to-suit facilities in June 2007. The applicant obtained approval of a request to rezone another portion of the 90-acre project site from agriculture open to light industrial. The Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously voted to approve the request at their meeting on December 6, 2011. Recommendation of staff is the council consider the ordinance for a zone change request as set forth in above caption. Do not have any cards filled on this. Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing by Councilman Rena. A second. Excuse me. Excuse me. A second by Councilman Ferguson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Councilman Guerrero.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilman Guerrero, a second by Councilman Gilmore. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. The request is for 2 500,000 square foot warehouses. I believe you stated 2 500 square foot warehouses. Just for the record.
I beg your pardon, sir. I misread that. Any other discussion? Counselor?
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lewisville, Texas, that amends the zoning ordinance of the City of Lewisville, Texas, granting zoning changes on the 3.42-acre tract of land fully and completely described in the attached Exhibit A, ordering a change in the use of said property from agriculture open space district zoning to light industrial district zoning, correcting the official zoning map, preserving all other portions of the zoning ordinance, providing a clause relating to severability, determining that the public interest and general welfare demand a zoning change and amendment therein made, providing a penalty, and declaring an emergency.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is Visitor Citizens Forum. At this time, any person with business before the council not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the council. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. I do not have any cards filled out. Consent agenda. All the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be self-explanatory by the council and be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. For a citizen to request removal of an item, a speaker card must be filled out and submitted to the city secretary. Did not have any cards filled out and no one from the council. Councilman Gilmore?
Move to approve the consent agenda?
Have a motion by Councilman Gilmore to approve consent agenda.
I second.
A second by Councilman Vaughn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is consideration of an ordinance amending the Louisville City Code, Section 15-87, prohibiting U-turns at various locations within the city of Louisville. Staff has encountered certain issues related to U-turn movements causing hazardous traffic conditions on Edmonds Lane at the intersection with Corporate Drive and on State Highway 121 Business at the intersection of Railroad Street. The Edmonds Lane at Corporate Drive conflicts are purely vehicular, whereas the State Highway 121 Business at Railroad Street deals with the DCTA's railroad crossing and quiet zone. Based on TxDOT and the Federal Railroad Administration's recommendations, the Transportation Board considered the Edmonds Lane at Corporate Drive issue at the September 6, 2011 meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend the approval. Recommendation of staff is that council adopt the ordinance as set forth in the above caption. Councilman Ferguson?
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve by Councilman Ferguson,
Second.
a second by Councilman Vaughn. Councilor?
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lewisville, Texas, amending Chapter 15, Section 15-87C of the Lewisville City Code by prohibiting U-turns on State Highway 121 Business at Railroad Street and on Edmonds Lane at Corporate Drive, providing a penalty clause, providing for severability, providing a repealer, providing an effective date, and declaring an emergency.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is consideration of an amendment to the internal, excuse me, to the interlocal cooperation agreement for the operation and maintenance of traffic signals between the Texas Department of Transportation and the City of Lewisville to add the maintenance of the signal at FM 2181 and FM 2499, and authorization for the city manager to execute the agreement. TxDOT has constructed a new traffic signal at the intersection of FM 2181 and FM 2499 within the city of Corinth. TxDOT has requested that the city of Louisville include this signal with their other signals presently maintained along FM 2181 by the city as part of its existing interlocal maintenance agreement. The city will be reimbursed for the maintenance of this signal at the same labor and materials rates as set forth in the existing agreement. The city presently maintains the own system signals at Park Ridge Drive, Garrison Street, Hickory Creek Boulevard, and the I-35E service road on FM 2181. Recommendation that the City Council adapt the amendment and all other related items as set forth in the caption above. Councilman Vaughn?
Mayor, I make a motion that all the related items as set forth in the caption above be approved.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilman Vaughn, a second by Councilman Guarina. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is consideration of an ordinance of the City Council granting to Texas and Mexico Power Company the non-exclusive right to use and occupy rights-of-way within the City of Louisville for the construction and operation of an electric transmission and distribution system, prescribing conditions governing the use of the public rights-of-way and providing the compensation therefor. In 2005, an ordinance was executed by the City of Texas and Mexico Power Company for electric franchise privileges with a termination date of December 2009. Staff and legal counsel have been negotiating and franchise agreement have been reached consensus with TNMP. The existing franchise has remained in effect with TNMP providing franchise payments during this time. Based upon charter requirements and the new franchise requirements, the effective date of the franchise will be April 21st, 2012, and the franchise will expire on April 30th, 2017. Recommendation is that council approve the proposed ordinance as the first reading as set forth by the charter and the caption above. Councilman Durham?
Mayor, if nothing else, I move to approve per the reading.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilman Durham, a second by Councilman Corina. Is there any discussion? Counselor?
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lewisville, Texas, granting to Texas New Mexico Power Company, its successors and assigns, the non-exclusive right to use and occupy rights-of-way within the City of Lewisville for the construction and operation of an electric transmission and distribution system, prescribing conditions governing the use of the public rights-of-way, providing for compensation therefor, providing an effective date and a term of said franchise, providing for written acceptance of this franchise, finding that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public, and providing for severability.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're down to reports. Bob, first thing I will do is thank you so much, sir, for dressing up our boat docks down there at the lake. They sure look nice with the new pads around them and the guardrails. I know those docks are getting kind of steep because that water's going down, so those docks are kind of about a 45-degree angle there, but they look really nice. And we got a big fishing tournament come up, was it next month, I believe? Is it February?
Yes, sir. It'll be in February. We hope we end up with one of the warm weekends for them. Typically, February can be rather cool, but they're excited about coming, and we're looking forward to it.
Great. That'll be another great event for us to host here. Chief?
No, sir.
Linda?
No, sir.
Chief?
No, sir.
Carol, we're getting a little bit of rain. Maybe it'll bring those docks up a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
Have you got anything, Donna?
I do, Mayor. We do have another birthday we have to celebrate this week, and that's the first birthday of our MCL Grand Theater. So this Saturday, you need to come out and celebrate this birthday with us. It starts with Our Town, which is put on by our Visual Arts League. So you need to come out at 6:30. We'll be having a reception and cash bar related to that. And then at 8 p.m., we have Mama's Party, which is normally performed at another theater in Dallas, but it is actually a review of various scenes from musicals and such by a group of performers. So it should be very entertaining. There is a $10 cover, so we ask that you come out and help us celebrate our first year birthday.
Sounds wonderful. We just keep having more and more great acts come up there, and it's wonderful. And we want to thank the Medical Center of Louisville for being a sponsor of that and helping us with those programs. Brenda? We got anything, Cleve? Anything? Mr. Backer? Councilman Durham?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Ms. Corina?
No, sir, nothing.
Mr. Gilmore?
I'd like to just take a quick second to thank city staff for working with me. We added a new tool to the city website which allows you to input the value of your property, at which point it will break it out and show you where your tax dollars go. It's a great opportunity to discuss and find out how your city operates. And if you need help, the easiest way to find that is to go to Facebook and find Louisville staff. It will be put in a more prominent place as the website is being redesigned over the next couple of months. But it's a great one, and you can email me, and I'll get you the information as well.
Mr. King? Mr. Ferguson?
I just wanted to add a little bit to Donna's comments. The Medical Center Louisville Grand Theater has seen more than 40,000 visitors and more than 300 events in the last year. That's more than one visitor for every square foot of the building. So if you've seen the building, you have a sense of the size of it. Picture packing that in, people 1 foot apart in every direction, and that's how many people have come to that center. So it's been a roaring success. The exhibit that she mentioned that Val will be doing, Our Town, seems very timely with the 87th birthday because it's will feature historic and contemporary scenes of Louisville's heritage, so very appropriate timing. And then lastly, I want to mention that the reception that has a $10 admission, that money goes to the purchase of a Steinway grand piano, what we call our 88 Keys program. And Steinway has graciously donated for the use of the evening a 9-foot Steinway for the Mama's Party. And that's the very type of piano that we're looking to purchase for that center. So you can come hear one and see what they look like.
Great.
Okay? And then otherwise, I was going to point out, as I pointed out to Carol, that the night I was sworn in, it rained, and this is my second meeting, and it rained. I don't know if I can keep that up, but I'll
I
try.
hope you do. We need it. Councilman Vaughn?
Nothing, Mayor.
Liz? Julie? Anything? Sir, we want to appreciate you being here tonight. We appreciate your service each and every day. Thank you, sir. Well, welcome, everybody, to 2012, and hope you enjoy our 87th birthday here in Louisville. Come out and join us Saturday night as we celebrate our first year birthday of our MCL Grand Theater. With that, in accordance with Texas Government Code Subchapter D, Section 551.072, Property Acquisition, Section 551.087, Deliberation regarding Economic Development Negotiations, we now convene into closed session. We'll convene back in regular session. Is there any action to be taken, council?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion to adjourn by Councilman Green, a second by Councilman Gilmore. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We're starting the year off right now.
Yeah. Don't watch that ball game.
Almost 8 o'clock.
Number one.